iCruise.us presents a ship tour. This tour is on the Carnival Elation, sailing out of New Orleans down to Cozumel, Mexico and Progreso, Mexico. We're going to give you an overview of the exterior and the interior of the ship and some commentary along the way, how we think the cruise went, and some of our own views of how this cruise goes. One of the most exciting things is this cruise takes off from New Orleans. The traffic on the Mississippi River is very busy and interesting. There's a lot of history on the Mississippi, and to be able to sail out of it downstream and then back up is one of the cool features of the disembarkation from New Orleans. Of course, there's lots of activities to do in the city itself, but this is about the ship tour, so let's cast off, set sail, and get underway. Those ropes are huge, by the way. That guy is small compared to those ropes. That's how big this ship is. The first thing you'll notice as we set sail is the ship must turn 180 degrees and go down the Mississippi towards the Gulf of Mexico, obviously. And this requires the use of the thrusters, both forward and back. It's obviously a lot of skill required for the crew to be able to execute a move in the midst of all of this traffic on the Mississippi, as well as the large scale of the ship itself. But the maneuver was done against the current, and I thought an exciting time, and everybody was out on the decks enjoying it. Alright, let's go ahead inside the ship and we go to the grand atrium or grand lobby, I don't remember what they call it, which is 4 or 5 stories of stairways and over balconies and so forth. Really nice way to enter the ship. The ship has long hallways, as all ships do, and staircases, as well as elevators at various points throughout the ship to make going up and down easy. A lot of times the elevators are a bit slow, so if you can do stairs, it's always faster. Elevators are helpful if you're going from top to bottom or carrying a bunch of stuff, but stairs are a faster way generally. The ship has a number of common areas, bars and lounges, many of which have music in the early evening and on into the late evening as well. Each of these lounges have their own theme. I found a lot of the decorations to be kind of tacky and other aspects to be kind of nice. Of course, the decorations and the scheme itself is on an older ship. This is a ship from 1998, so it's subjective, but I wasn't a big fan of the decorations. Lots of shopping on the ship, as always. The $10 shop, yes, it's $10, was probably the best value. Although you could probably find a lot of that stuff for much less on the each of the ports has their own little marketplaces where they have less expensive souvenirs. So the main show area is seats a lot of people. It's very nice. It's big. The Mark Twain Library is a nice place to come, play games, read a book, check out things like that. They've got a gym. The gym was tiny, and I didn't film in there because there are people working out, but it's pretty useless. Although nice views, small, smells like sweat, not awesome. Again, the main theater areas really fill up at night, and even during the day sometimes they do bingo, or they have other little side lights. They have a nice sushi bar down by the casino, which was kind of nice. It opens around 5 o'clock, and you go get your free sushi. That's included. The casino itself was large and was always open when we were at sea, but not during import. That's a pretty normal thing. These statues are weird looking. This was the nightclub. At night when the music is playing, the statues, their lights light up, or their eyes light up with lights, heads turn back and forth. Kind of weird. This is one of the nice dining rooms. A little low on the ceilings as far as I was concerned, but overall nicely decorated and gave an upscale feel. This is one of the piano bars, kind of a New York theme, and the piano player was pretty good in there. One of the other areas is the comedy club in the back. Very good comedians. I thought the talent there was pretty good. Definitely worth going to see those shows, and you got to get there early. The buffet is upstairs on the Lido deck, generally 10th deck, and was overall pretty good. They had lots of different food. The food itself was not great, but they had plenty of seating, both inside and outside. Had different choices, which was good. The deli sandwiches were pretty good. I hated the pizza, so we'll call that neutral. They have free ice cream, and kids love getting free ice cream all day, every day. It's one of the best things about a cruise. They can just go nuts. The chocolate extravaganza, I've had it on lots of different cruises, these sorts of things, and Carnival, I would say, gets the lowest rating for the chocolate extravaganza. Overall, their food quality was not awesome. Here's a view of a typical room. This one has an ocean view. It's probably in the middle in terms of value category. You can see a nice big window. Windows were filthy, but the view itself was okay. The TV was from like 1955. It's terrible TV. You see the nice cabinets, or at least they look nice. Again, I think the decorations, the tile, everything is very dated. The desk itself didn't work. The drawers are all old and beat up. It was a real pain to open and close the drawers. Stub your toe on that step in the shower, and you'll only do it once. You will really recognize why that's there. I thought this is a nice bathroom overall. For a ship, these things are very small, and although it's dated, and I thought the decorations were kind of old and outdated, the size was fine. This is another common area, I believe on the promenade deck, not far from the casino, and it's got some nice large windows. I really think the newer ships have better viewing and higher viewing and with less barriers. This one was older, and definitely you could tell. So getting out onto the main decks, one of the best views always for me is on the upper decks and looking back of where we're coming from. It's a beautiful thing to see. Very windy when you're at sea, but this was I think a pretty nice space. The fact that there's a lot of people on the ship, but there's still areas that didn't feel overcrowded, I thought was useful. In this particular case, I don't think the ship sailed full, but it was near capacity, so there was plenty of people, but still some room to get around. The deck chairs and the access to the deck chairs was pretty good overall. I give them high marks for that. Kids love a slide into the pool, and although the pool itself was often very, very crowded, it wasn't in this particular shot, but more often than not, it was just packed with people. Same with the hot tubs. Definitely the newer ships have better access to these types of amenities. Unless you want it to be, one of many sardines in the pool, it just was not awesome most of the time. The sports park on the forward deck, I believe it was on the 12th deck, was just windy as all get out when we were sailing. It's pretty much impossible to have a productive conversation because it was so loud and windy. But it's still nice when you're sailing to be able to get out there. As usual, the windows are filthy, but being able to get out to these deck areas was pretty nice. To your left on that last shot is where the gym was. So they have nice views, but again, it smells sweaty and it's small. This is just a part of sailing, is just the beauty of being able to get out and see the sea itself. It's really something that is special. And oftentimes you can see flying fish off the bow here. As the waves break, there will be flying fish that fly away in fear from the ship itself. That particular shot was, and this one as well, sitting in Cozumel, Mexico. Beautiful water. You can see fish swimming around in it, sometimes turtles or other things, dolphins, etc. We did see dolphins at sea. That was pretty neat. And you gotta love the Caribbean for such beautiful scenery. This is a sister ship to the Elation. That was another ship. I think it was the Imagination. It was parked in port. Our next stop was Progreso, Mexico, which you can see some of the shots. Beautiful water. Not a lot in Progreso. There's some new tours. It's a newer destination, I believe, and it wasn't too bad. The beach could be better, but overall not too bad. As the night sets and everything, there's a lot of activities on the ship. Each day they give you a program, and there's just activity after activity. It depends on your interest, but lots and lots of things to do. The entertainment crew on this cruise was excellent. They were terrific, and I highly recommend that. Overall, I would say this cruise is not something I would put in my top 10. It is a fine option, you know, for the money. It was a shorter cruise. It was a 5-day, but I definitely wouldn't recommend this as your number one choice. I would highly consider some alternatives, and just go to iCruise.us to see some of our recommendations there. The Carnival Elation, overall, an older ship, still in good condition. They maintain it reasonably well, but it does show its age in a number of ways. There was a series of things about it that were positive, but by and large, I wouldn't put it as my number one recommendation. Good luck wherever your cruising goes, and take care. Bye-bye.